All right, I guess we must be or should be on. We definitely are. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much is that I help people to become mentally and emotionally balanced. Now, when I'm talking about helping you to become emotionally balanced, I'm definitely not referring to, let's just say, you see how people trying to refrain not to raise your voice, not to use certain words, but to, control your anger. I'm saying being emotionally balanced goes way beyond that. Is that and a whole lot more. I mean, it really comes down to you understanding what are your emotions and how does your emotions work. Then at that point, it pretty much enable you to either create your own emotional pattern or you go along with it. I mean, either way, you're going along, you creating it, you accepting it, because that's why at the end of the day, we are all accountable. I mean, whether you want to admit it or not. But anyway, it's a lot more than that. It's just not, let's just say you're not raising your voice or not using certain words. It has absolutely, if anything, that part has more to do with you trying to hide your emotions rather than, having being emotionally balanced. Whereas, you are more in control, just like if you gotta let a nigga know, you let a nigga know it's not personal. Or if you, and most of the time, it's not gonna worth it. So I choose not to. It's just not enough. They're like, you got to give me more for me to react, or you just don't matter that much. It's all in the mix. But anyway, now, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm referring to. Now, in addition to that, also help you to become, I hope you guys can hear me, also help you to become um, mentally balanced. That part, I mean, it's the same principles, the same pretty much principles applies here. So that's why it's important. In fact, a big chunk of what we're going to be talking about tonight, because we're going to be talking about, the collective consciousness, which is pretty much made of I mean, the popular beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Or another way of saying that too would be the way that you've been trained to think. So, I mean, I guess, we could actually link it. I mean, the way you've been trained to think. So, for you to become mentally balanced, you have to be in control of yourself. So that's why, like I always tell people, you have to understand your culture. Your spirituality is everything you pretty much are encountering. That's what makes when I talk about spirituality, which I'll be talking about in just a second, it's your fucking life. And if you don't understand that or you don't relate to it, that's because you are ignorant. It's not because you cool, motherfucker. In fact, you're not cool at all. Okay? I guess that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not cool at all, dog. Mm-hmm. So, like, you got to pull up your pants. Your ass is out. Yeah. But anyway, to become mentally balanced, it pretty much entails you, understand how your mind works. You have to understand how your own mind works. I mean, the shit is yours, isn't it? I mean, that's why, that's what self mastery. Then you have to be conscious of the self. You have to be conscious of the self, and that's the work. That's what you're here for. That's what remastering. Member is. That's the read with the dash, nigga. You become a member again. This is who you knowing who you are. You didn't stop being who you were. You were not conscious of who you are. That's what the reconnection is. Or another way of saying that in the Bible, they would say, or Jesus would say, I'm taking you back home. But all of that referring to is you. So if you're not in control of you, I mean, you that's what not being conscious is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why if you're not conscious, the name of the game is for you to become conscious. Not to learn how to do magic, not to learn how to do none of that shit. I'm not saying shit as if it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But all of that is just they serving you. You can only be as magical as your magic, nigga. Your magic's gonna be as strong as you are. Oh, I'm living such a magical life, motherfucker. Seek the kingdom of God, man. So again, we'll be talking about. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. I want some bullshit. Obviously, I guess I want the smoke. I'm with the smoke, and I'm smoking the smoke. In so many words, I'm also trying to display the complexity in us, in yourself. That's why for you to become whole, I do recommend the Kabbalion to everybody. That should be your Bible because it's talking about you. It's about giving you what is called the esoteric wisdom or knowledge, meaning the things that you don't see help you to become more conscious. I'll give you a perfect example. One of their principles tells you, as it is within, so it is without. It's helping you to have a better understanding of you. And that's what self mastery is. Another way of saying that, becoming conscious or attaining the highest, enlightenment, becoming Christ like, the Christian, whatever the fuck. But I'm also saying it this way too, so you can relate to understand that this shit's got to be manifested in your fucking life. That's like, you're knowledgeable, but you're acting stupid. I don't think you want to be that way. I know I don't want to be that way. It wouldn't make sense. But if I'm gonna be smart, I'm act smart. And again, I'm gonna be touching on that too because all of that has to do with with your belief. Because you have to understand your thoughts, your belief. They are what energy. So that's why we understand for you to change your life, you got to change your mind. So they're showing you the direct as it is within, so it is without. So who the fuck are you? That's what I'm inviting you to find out. Oh, listen, when you find them, you make sure you stand in front of them. You embrace this motherfucker. You a nigga? Shit. And that's your treasure. That's what your treasure is. Come on, man. Like, I'm not giving up Jesus for these niggas. Hey, y'all. I was cracking myself earlier, right? I was on some bullshit. I was putting some shit together. Shit. Just because these niggas are making Jesus look bad, you know what I'm saying? Like they're giving you this bullshit. Because the whole Jesus shit came from us. That's why you could say, oh, when they talking about Jesus, his Haru, his this, his that. So it's you. You think I'm gonna give up myself for these niggas? You crazy. Saying, when I started, I wasn't Jesus. Now I'm deeply rooted into motherfucking Jesus. So much so, you're looking at him. So when we talk, oh my God, because shit, what I'm saying? It's all connected. Now at this point, it's just a matter of how are you looking at it? Because I'm trying to get you to see from that other side, from a fucking energetic field. And that's how you have a better understanding of you too. And that's where you get to understand, guess what? You are more than dick and pussy. In other words, you are dick and pussy too. I mean, you're not gonna say not dick and pussy because you fucking experiencing that shit. But you are that and more. And a lot more. And a lot. And in so many ways, I just describe what pretty much African spirituality is all about, which is that ma'at, is the connection between the visible and the non-visible. Is your masculinity and your femininity coming together? Is becoming the perfect man, meaning the holy man, balanced, not referring to flaws, not saying flawless. But now, in other words, that was me telling you that's you who have now successfully have your emotions and your fucking mental balanced. They come together now. That's what I help you to do. That's the whole idea of mind, body, and soul. Another way of saying that would be the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit, whatever the fuck. So you're seeing that pattern. Again, it's talking about you. Just like when I'm going to be talking about the occult, but you know how they tell you a woman gave birth, like referring to like that's why Jesus came from a woman, Mary, because you don't become conscious until you explore your intuition, your femininity. Because a lot of your wisdom is going to go through, in other words, becoming the Christ now. Conscious, Horus, whatever the fuck. Listen, I'm gonna dumb this shit down all the way the fuck down, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a master do, nigga. Listen, man, when you know, you know. And I would not want to be a master, first of all, to serve you. If I'm gonna serve you, listen, if I'm gonna get behind the camera, I gotta know what I'm talking about. I gotta live it, baby. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not listen, you that's what makes it creme de la creme. It's quality, man. Try to tell these motherfuckers, man. Try to find your treasure. Yeah. In a nutshell, that's what I do. That was a hell of a fucking introduction. But hey, I was feeling myself. Nigga, I ain't no shame with my game, nigga. But anyway, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here. As I mean, I hope as far as you can see, I was trying to back my shit up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I back my own thing up, nigga. Shit, like, come on, man. It's either you stand for something, or you fall for anything. What are we doing? All right, now if you're coming back, nigga, come on now. Come on, man. You already know what this is. Stop it. Listen, I love you. You know what I'm saying? What else do you want from me? I love you, man. Welcome back, motherfucker. Listen, man. Let's. This is our time. It's my time. This is personal for me. So, the motherfuckers. This is very personal for me. Extremely personal. And I'm a very sensitive guy. So, I mean, if I'm putting myself out like that, just know. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying the same. All right. So come on, man. Don't fuck with me. What I'm saying is, do not fuck with me. I'm saying you can do whatever you like. You know what I mean? But anyway, listen, man. I mean, shit. I mean, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. So, when you come back or you learn anything from here, listen, man. You go back out there. You tell them what you see, okay? How about you to get out there and let them know what you see? Let them know the words. Some of the things you heard, man. Spread it, man. Talk to them. That's what I'm saying. I take all that shit in for you, nigga. You know what I mean? Shit, I didn't take it all for me. And that shit's coming from me. You feel me? And the most high. Come on, man. This is where we're deeply rooted. This is the source. This is life. All of that I'm saying is thank you, motherfuckers. Welcome back, bitches. Now, guys, listen. And I'm gonna do my best to keep that part short, right? As part of the routine, especially if this is your first time, and even if you're coming back too, listen, man, like you guys gotta get this. You know what I'm saying? So spirituality, it's pretty much what I use. It's the tool that I use as a spiritual healer for me to convey the message, or even for me to help you to become emotionally balanced. All these fancy things, this things I was talking about. You know what I'm saying, nigga? That shit came straight out spirituality, dog. My life is a fucking open book, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right. I gotta let you know where I got it from, but also let you know what this shit is and what it's not. It's a total package. Because spirituality, in essence, is just you. Now, it is very difficult for a lot of people, for most people, to relate because you don't know you. You were never trained to be you. And that's why it's important for you to become conscious, or even to be mentally balanced. Again, like I always tell people, man, your spirituality is your fucking humanity. What makes it an illusion? Because it appears like humanity, but it's truly spirituality. Let me say that again. What makes this a fucking illusion is because it appears like humanity, but it's truly spirituality. That's why when you're dealing with relationship, you're dealing with your emotions, aspect of yourself that you do not see, the divine aspect of yourself. That's why for you to change your life, you got to change your mind. This is your spirituality. The Kabbalion calls it you are living mind, i.e., motherfucking spirit. So when we're talking about spirituality, this is everybody. You walking around naked, scratching your ass, stealing, whatever the fuck, good, bad, worse, don't matter. It's your story. Now, again, the the biggest misconception comes, which comes out of fucking ignorance because you were never taught to be you. So if you're never taught to be you, and here I am talking about you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind, nigga, I gotta pay my bills. Then you reply, you look at me, nigga, I gotta pay my bills out of ignorance. Meanwhile, you don't understand. That's why most of the people, you know what I'm saying, who make money, you don't make money chasing money. First of all, you don't even understand your own world. You don't even understand what's in front of you. That's how I know a lot of motherfuckers are fucking ignorant too. You know what I'm saying? You don't even understand the system that you in. How you don't even understand how your mind is being controlled. Then now you're making statements. Fuck out of here. To who? To who? You ain't got no saying, man. Fuck out of here. In other words, like it's not quality work. It's not valued. It means nothing. It's worthless, man. You know. So again, going back to when we're talking about spirituality, it's just it's everything. It's everything. It's the story of humanity, which and the story of humanity is the story of spirituality. Now, which is being told or displayed in different languages, different cultures, different perspective, but ultimately, that's why the you know what I'm saying to attain that higher state of consciousness, you need to embrace all of it, not part of it, because it makes you partial. You know what I'm saying? If you know when you choose a side, it makes you one-sided. How can you see the bigger picture when you're one-sided? To see the bigger picture, like I tell people, to think critically, you have to be critical. The fuck? Those thoughts are just gonna pop. Like, wow, wow. So now, within spirituality, you have something now that is called the occult. Now, the occult is dealing with your, let's just say, your dark side. And what that means is the non-physical aspect of you, meaning some of the some of the baseline understanding, that the occult would let you know is that you have a conscious mind and then you have a subconscious mind. All that is doing is helping you to be a little more conscious of just this mind or just this consciousness. You got another conscious too, dog. In other words, they're giving you a deeper understanding, a better view about you because they're looking at it from both perspective. And that's what shamans or spiritual masters or ascenders, I mean, or the old ones, that's what we were able to do. We always, that's what makes us whole. We are the perfect ones. because we never chose, we never had chosen to be on one side. Because when you do that, it makes you one sided automatically. And if you are one sided, your perspective is going to be one sided. Listen, there's no secret, man, in Coca Cola, nigga. I know you like to quench your thirst. Nobody feels like when that ice, when you see, the little, when the I mean, how it's actually going down the fucking glass and what it looks like, that bubble, right? And that perfect bubble. It's no secret, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's chemical, baby. And water. What you got? Chemical and water, man. You can do whatever you like. You know what I'm saying? With flavor added to it, that's what you're getting, baby. You crunch those thirst. Make sure you also crunch those other thirst, nigga. So now, again, when we talk about, most, or another, misconception is religion. So now, if I were to talk about spirituality, then, what religion am I part of? Here's another misconception, because now you're looking at spirituality as a belief system or different sets of beliefs. That's cool. It's also part of it too. Because why? That is your story. To become the shiny one, the enlightened one, you know what I'm saying? The one with the hollow, you have to bypass all of that. It's when you understand that you are the creator. Ooh, that was a bit heavy. I know. I should have been a little more careful. You know what I'm saying? I was a little bit heavy. That's the part you gotta take it like a man too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to raise men on this side too. Yeah, I'm just saying. Anyway, to summarize quickly, when we're talking about spirituality, it's simply your life, and it pretty much embodies everything. So a lot of us, just like I was saying, we are disconnected from that perspective, or we don't even see it that way out of ignorance. And this is where too, it's important for you to understand, your the collective consciousness, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight too. Now we're talking about the collective consciousness along with your personal beliefs, you know, then, because a lot of us, it's important for you to understand that we've been trained pretty much to, instead of us living our lives based on who we are, there's an image we should be living our life to. But you also got to understand now. Okay, let's take it a step back. Well, let's slow it down for a second, right? Let's also dumb it down, right? When you talk about personal belief, you're talking about your energy here and understanding. Now that will lead you to act a certain way. Again, all of that stems from that thoughts. Again, this is who you are, a living mind. That's why when you change the world, well, you change your mind, you change yourself. I hope you get to see a glimpse of who you are. And no matter how you put it, we all create our reality. Let's just say if I decided to become a 7 day Adventist, my Saturday, my weekend is gonna be different, dog. And so may my work schedule, depending on the type of work that I do. Meaning my life now is being surrounded by a different reality. Or if I'm Muslim, there's a certain time of the year that's what I gotta do. So because of my belief, it leads me to act a certain way, but I also create my reality. I mean, whether you believe it or not. So when you feel like you have to meet, or when you're being conditioned for you not to be yourself, now you have to follow society rules. You have to become who and what they want you to become, and that's the society that you're living in. I get, yeah, I know. It's, it's such a it's such a disgrace, man. To be honest, and all of that, I mean, that's what makes it the belly of the beast. Not just the beast itself, but we're like in the belly of the beast, man. In the bottom of the pit. And that's where Jesus also had to go to. Every Jesus is, you know what I'm saying? Including myself. We had to go at that bottom. That's the understanding of the Christ having to go down before he goes up. You see it in fucking what's that? Hercules. All these niggas are Jesus. It's showing you the transformation, a lot of the things that you got to go through. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that part, just to show you. I want you to get a glimpse of who you are, because this is all describing you. Again, it all comes down to how are you looking at it, and to be mentally balanced. You have to understand how are you being trained to think. That's why people follow the crowd. That's why everybody, when you're sharing the same belief. Now I'm gonna keep that in mind. I'm talking about the collective consciousness and your personal belief. Because I want you to make the connection. So when you're talking about the collective consciousness, it's always gonna be the massive perspective, because that's the way they've been thinking, trained to think. And that type of thinking, because it's not following the self, then it's not, you're stuck. There's no growth. That's why they rocking you to bed, because you're not going within. The transformation takes place in the inside, out. So what you're looking from the outside is just a projection of the inside, i.e., the law of correspondence. Take it a step further, your nature, part of who you are. Because I know, what I'm saying, that's how I change my reality. Well, no, going to distance. So anyway, I want you to keep that in mind, as we'll be talking more about your personal belief. But most importantly, I mean, again, which is not even a personal belief, but that somehow is made personal to you. Let me say that again. Which is not really personal, not in the fucking internal sense, but that became personal to you. Like this is what you now you are choosing not to be you. This is you making that choice. You are choosing not to be yourself because of the way you've been trained to think. Well, yeah, you got played. Yeah, definitely. Of course. That's what the illusion is. Peekaboo, nigga. You got that's why you gotta be able to see underneath the skirt, nigga. I already know what you got, baby. You ain't gonna fool me, bitch. That's what I tell them hoes, man. That's what I tell them bitches. I'm like, baby, I know what's underneath that. You know what I'm saying? You can act all you want, nigga. I know what's underneath that. I may not have to touch it. I may not have to do anything with it, but I know what it is, nigga. You are fooling me, bitch. And by the way, make sure you wash it real good. All right? You know what I'm saying? Do yourself that favor. Out of here. Do it for you. So now, then, you are creating, there's a set of action. That's why everybody now is acting like everybody else. That's why a lot of people now it's becoming greedy because you've been trained. It's legal to be greedy now. You know what I'm saying? Then we legalize it too. We call it business. It's business, dog. Meaning I go to the club, right? Depending on what you drink. You know what I'm saying? Like a $20 a fucking ounce of shit. Shit is legal, man. You want to talk about killers? Shit, in broad daylight, nigga. In the streets. I tell niggas, you know what I'm saying? You want to talk about the streets? Now that's the street. That's broad daylight street, nigga. Your street shit is you do that only at night. You know what I'm saying? You gotta legalize it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we've been trained to think that way. It's not a fucking accident. It's not, you know what I'm saying? No, this is society. They teaching you how to dress, how to talk, how to eat. I mean, it's no longer a secret now that we got to be a little more careful about some of the information that is being given to us, right? Hmm? It's not a secret, right? I mean, I just because I don't do conspiracy theories, nigga. So to make sure, just saying. But if that is a surprise to you, let's just say I'm surprised. Now we're talking about level of consciousness. Now we're talking about level of ignorance. That's what it comes down to. So now going back to, now you sharing collective consciousness at that point because you're all thinking the same. You share the same belief. You keeping up with the Joneses. That's why you're all backstabbers. That's why you have to become fake because you don't know how to be you. Then you create a whole world of toxicity out of fakeness. Now the tougher, like Like to become tough because you are very small, you got to act tougher. That's another one that's not a secret too. You know what? I guess I'm putting all the shit out tonight. That's not a secret. Even in the 40th power of law, they tell you that shit. When you're weak, you act strong. Come on, man. And when you're strong, that's when I'm like, oh, excuse me. You know what? I think it's better for me to go home. You see what I'm saying? But when you weak, hey, motherfucker! Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, see? You yapping out the mouth, Nick. We're moving differently out here, man. We're been bosses, man. I'm saying, or I mean, I guess it would fit the understanding of what's being said about a boss, like being yourself, or what I'm saying. But if that's what God like is, to embody yourself, to be who you are. See, in so many ways, we always explore the higher self of us. Why do you think we fucking believe in God, nigga? He tell you God loves God, man. And that's another one that's not a secret too, man. God takes pleasure in other gods or in God. Mhm. Don't you take pleasure in looking at your son? You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. This is an us exploring a part of us, man. And that's why they tell you in the occult too. Man needs God and God needs man. Phil Valentine had a whole speech on that. You know what I'm saying? Go get your medicine, niggas. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Came in the right place, nigga. So now, what we're talking about here, right? To see how powerful. I mean, it's just the complexity of us too. That's why you are more than what you appear to be. That's what makes this a world of illusion. And that's how you bypass matter by going through matter. You never conquer anything when you suppress it or when you reject it. That's why if you know anything about doing the shadow work, or what I'm saying, is you embracing your wounded child, meaning those early emotions that you didn't want to talk about, that you didn't want to address, that you were rejected. Those are, I mean, now those are emotions. Like that's why you have to embrace all of you, and that's what the foundation of African spirituality is, my nigga. And that's what Kemet was all about. The true gods. That's why these niggas had statues around them. The statues were now at this point just a manifestation of us, just like of me, of you. We are crystallized being. Every spirit needs to have a body, dog. That's why you got in this plane. Should I may also add, very important in this plane. But regardless of what the plane is, you're still a god. That's why when you know who you are, he sets you free. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? He sets you free. So you understand, okay, this is how it works here. Ultimately, who's you are the creator. I guess that aspect of it too is a big part of you becoming mentally balanced too. Being able to have a good understanding. Like even if I want to, okay, like in myself, right? The way I was brought up, what I'm saying? I didn't know anything about fucking nutrition. It's almost like until somebody, let's just say your dad became diabetic and like, oh, yo, you gotta chill on the fucking chicken. Like, oh shit. Like some shit had to happen. And then for the word to somehow for us to become a little more conscious, yo, you know what, man, we shouldn't be eating too much sugar and all that shit. But all of that, I'm just saying, the initial understanding of what nutrition is and all that shit, niggas didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? And I believe as a Haitian nigga, I'm speaking for all niggas. But if I'm wrong, it's okay. I'll take it too, baby. But if I'm not, yeah, we're speaking for all niggas. You know where you are, stranger. I know where you are, baby. So now, because of how you're being trained to think, you're also investing your energies being invested in that. You see what I'm saying? So, in other words, we are all, like that's why a lot of us, you already know what you want to do, but because of years of training you how to act or to think a certain way, you always neglect it. Now it got to a stage where we're all saying to ourselves, you know what is it that you like? What would you do? Let's just say if you know what I'm saying if you have $1 million, like if you whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? It got to a point now, or write the first thing that come out of your mind. That comes easy for you. But it's not nothing that you didn't know before. It becomes a struggle because you've been fighting against it for so long. Now, for you to go back to it, hey, that's the fight. Then it's almost like a nigga, you gotta go in meditation mode just to. Nigga, you knew that shit when you were the minute you were born. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then life happens. It's okay. It's okay. It's part of the journey. It's also that's what we talk about in spirituality too. That's the process of awakening as well. And that's what all of those spiritual texts or occult or esoteric knowledge is telling you. Again, this is our fucking manual down here. That's your manual, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's written for you. But now the only thing you got to do, just like you have to reconnect with it. You have to accept it. And this is the part where I can't. Now it's I show you the door. Only you're gonna have to walk through it. I walk through it. I mean, if you must ask, I mean, if you want to be smart, like, how do you think I look? How you think I look, nigga? Come on, man. Open up your eyes, baby. Don't kid yourself. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It's right in front of you. All you gotta do is just take it. All you gotta do is claim it. Just know who you are, man. And that's what all of those texts will show you. That's why faith and all that shit comes in. It's all beautiful. I'm gonna just give it to you just the nigga way. We're gonna simplify all that shit, nigga. Make it yours. Make it your life. Because ultimately, anything that is not your life is not to your benefit. How is that serving you? Your belief should be serving you, not serving somebody else, serving you. How are you benefiting from your own belief? You're not creating something right. There's a fix that needs to be done in your system. There's some realignment that has to be done. That's when the spark, depending, hey, you never know. That could be a spark right there, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But either way, just know you're doing something good. So far, you're doing great. You're doing great, man. So again, what the fuck? It's important for you to become conscious of the world around you. The less conscious you are of the world around you, well, the less grasp you're gonna have on you. And that's what the masses is. And that's why they don't allow you to know who you are. There's no control. That's why this type of shit is to set you free when you know the truth, though. It's like, come on, man, you tried, but nah, I know who I am. Fuck out of here. You for trying. And you don't even have to prove it. You already know. You found your treasure, man. You know what I'm saying? Go get your treasure, baby. And that's what you're looking at. So people are pretty much striving to meet society needs or validation, approval. That's what people are fighting. Like I always use this fucking example. The guys. Oh, shout out to my man Exentacion. You know what I'm saying? Mm, like those same kids who committed the crime went on fucking social media to show off their fucking money. Now, like I always tell people, is it stupid? Of course, that's the most obvious shit. But you gotta understand, being in a culture where everybody wants to be a thug, wants to be a gangster, then you're seeking for that approval, and you do anything. That's the part you do anything to feed that monster because you sold your soul to the devil. That's what worshiping idol is. That's the idol. It's not you. You're disrespecting God. When you know what I'm saying, like when we have those statues, they were not meant. That was us manifesting a fucking because any energy that is dormant, then it's not conscious. They have a statue of Michael Jordan right now. When you look at that statue, you know his legacy. It's not meant for you to worship that fucking statue, but it's a representation of greatness of one of the ones who ever did it the way he did it. That's why we have statues around us, nigga. And to who all the gods, we understand that. These niggas are all around me, you hear me? Yeah. Because you are making all of that energy present around you. You manifesting them. You give them life. You activated those other part of you. Another way of saying that too. And it's all the same bullshit. Same difference. See that one? That's not worshiping idols at all, nigga. That's you knowing who you are. That's true self mastery, enlightenment, true consciousness. That's the vibration those fucking Egyptian were on, nigga. Come on, man. You think why would they look at themselves as being less than a god? Offended. Yeah, I must be one of them. I'm offended. The whole Christ story, when you follow it and you understand it, it's your journey. It's the journey of you becoming the Christ, becoming conscious. How society will turn back, will turn on you. Jesus was not religious because if it was much of a religion guy, you know what I'm saying, his shit was always different from this nigga shit. You're not following the story correctly, but I get it because you're looking at some historical shit. You can't apply it into your life. That's why this wisdom is fucking you up. You're eating from the wrong tree, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Again, once you understand the occult, like it's just okay, all right. It's your life. That's why the words always has to be made flesh. The aim and the target got to be one. If not, you're missing the target. You aren't aiming right. It's got to be one, and that's the transition, transcendence, transcendence, transition, and transcendence. Yeah, I mean, depending on how you're looking at it. From my perspective, it's transcendence. Yeah, nigga. I do what I want, nigga. Again, it's just listen, man. Once you find you, man, that's a whole different conversation. I mean, there's this other conversation I love to have, but I understand due to like there's a lot of things, especially in this month. This is a beautiful month, man. Beautiful month, man. Like for me, I started celebrating Halloween like probably about 5, 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing it ever since. And the way I celebrate it, like you guys going out, like I stay in. You know what I'm saying? I celebrate with the spirit on the other side. I be going to their dances. You know what I'm saying? Like last year they had a big fucking, that's where I went, dog. That's where I spent my fucking Halloween, nigga. Y'all niggas are putting costumes to celebrate over here. Nigga, I leave my body and I go chill with these niggas. And I'm telling you, it's a big celebration. And I guess we somehow reflect that world too. But anyway, I guess I'm saying that to say also a medium, a psychic, as a spiritual healer. So I get to experience a lot of things, man. It's a privilege, and I know this month, I mean, it's gonna be major. So that's why for me, I always, you know, want to make sure I stay in. That's when I travel. You know what I mean? Food for thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just saying the same. So now, as a result, when we talking about a collective consciousness, what you truly have is a lot of energy that's been trained to think a certain way. Another way of saying that, then you have your masses, the peasants. It goes by different names. But the idea, even to say the masses or the peasants, is to show the difference between the road less traveled and the road that is traveled by everybody. It's to emphasize on that, not to minimize it, but to emphasize on the differences. This is just for quality purposes. I'm not here to take anybody down. But when you quality, you quality. Listen, man, you gotta see beauty in you. You gotta become beauty to see beauty in like. Listen, it's all one. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to get there for you to get there, even if you've never been there. That's the oh man, and that's just the alpha and the omega. That's the total opposites being one. That's the polarity. That's who you are. That's your true essence. That's how you set yourself free. Seek the kingdom of God, man. Meaning yourself. So now I was just talking about, we were talking about, what I'm saying, like your society approval. That's why when you have a nigga who's faking or buying designer clothes, it's like there's a whole different world. That's why when you go to the club, you see motherfuckers with bottles, like it's a whole different life. These niggas think like they're. You never see the VIP, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lane, you know what I'm saying? And then the nigga on that other side, you know what I'm saying, thinks somehow it's a whole different thing. Just outside of that. I'm trying to get you to see it from both perspectives, right? I'm trying to show you what's taking place right over here, but in that nigga's mind, though, he understand. That's why when talking about I mean VIP or what you're truly talking about is, you know what I'm saying? It's they selling you a fucking feeling. It's some sort of energy. You know what I'm saying? And then, that's how you getting some approval. You're doing better. You're doing good. You know what I'm saying? You are liked. You are loved. And that's the fake love. Again, it's not coming from you. Because I'm truly trying to get you guys to see, I mean, all the collective consciousness, the toxicity in it, why this is called the belly of the beast, but also why also spirituality is your physical life. It's your physical life, not in a physical way, in a spiritual way. That's why the words got to be made flesh. Your knowledge has to become wisdom. That's how you also learn how to transmute your energy, your feelings. Transmuting simply you changing it. That's why we use the term the alchemist in the occult, referring to you. Again, a term that was used to define who you are, or partly who you are, but an aspect of who you are, but ultimately who you are. I mean, all of that matters. Every single way I've said it mattered. what I'm saying? Count it, nigga. All different levels. So again, going back to the whole approval shit, this also should show you there's more to you than what it appears to be. A lot of us are saying, yeah, these guys are stupid. Yeah, that's the most yeah, obviously. I mean, you want to be any obvious than that? But if you want to look underneath it all, it's fucking approval. The nigga, like, we're living in a society, the more animalistic you act, the more respect you get. Or if you're looking to be respected, again, this is not coming from your true self. Okay? A people pleaser. You know what I'm saying? You want to live for others. You're worshiping idols. Then guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna be a monster, nigga. Fuck being a bad guy. You're gonna become a monster. That's why it's a never-ending motherfucking shit. You always, once you looking for validation, well, you're never gonna please anybody. You know what I'm saying? No matter how hard you try. I mean, I wouldn't know because I never really tried hard for anybody. But I've heard people who said it, like, ultimately they're like, you know what? Because I was always the type of nigga that's like, fuck you. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? Some people were like, okay, they went through it, but I love it too. It all serving. We all learn from each other. Thank you for your lesson. And then they tell me what? The same conclusion. That's how I know I'm doing good. Not seeking their validation, but if I didn't have to do what you're doing, you came to realize you got to do what I'm doing. All right, respect to me, nigga. Not your approval, bitch, but it's also your approval, if that makes any sense. Not your approval in the sense I was seeking for it, but it is an approval because it validates me in the sense of it's like God and enjoying God again. I'm glad I made this decision, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I decided to follow myself. I'm glad that I chose to love myself. That's the statement that I'm making here. You know what I'm saying? And that decision was from the time that I came on earth. So I was always that nigga, even when I was a little nigga. You see, I listen to these niggas. I'm like, I got y'all niggas. Y'all niggas. All referring to the life that they're living now. And that's the transformation. That's the understanding. When you're thinking in those terms, like death now has a different meaning for you. That's when you get to see, you know what I'm saying, for you to become eternal, you got to find that eternity in you. You got to find that eternal side of you. And once you do, another way of saying you're a treasure, dog. Nothing matters. Nothing else matters. And all of that referring to is a level of consciousness. That's what you treasure, a level of knowing who you are. And that's the shit that's just fucked the whole shit up. Like nigga shit. I see you. It's like, can you imagine a fucking elephant hiding behind a small tree? I'm like, nigga, you the elephant. And I'm me. I'm like, nigga, really? Kaboo, nigga. I mean, you don't realize it by now? dreaming some of you a dreaming ass motherfucker. D Lulu. D Lulu out here, baby. How do you get it so wrong? God damn. Not just got it wrong, but all the way fucked up. You got it all the way fucked up. Yeah, you're not the brightest, dog. You are not the brightest. You probably one of the worst that ever did it, dog. Nah, you are not the brightest because you didn't stay at home and study the game tapes, man. You didn't pick a book up, nigga. Why do you keep failing? You must be a failure. Why do you keep failing though? And you keep failing. You said it right. The one thing you said right was this. You know what I'm saying? I always win. Yeah. This is another one of them. Now you that's how you now you're learning it for yourself. You saw it, you knew it, but you didn't know it. It's okay. You tell me what side I look better on, nigga. Is it this one or that one? Man, and that's another aspect of the spiritual life too. Because now you're dealing with other spirit who are not on the same like who are controlled. Now, when you being yourself and them not being who they are, then you become an issue for these motherfuckers. That's what the Bible will tell you too, because you have to embrace all of it as part of your spiritual journey. But I was also referring to, having your Judas, the world going against you. That's what they're saying. No prophet is accepted in his own country. You know what I'm saying? I went in the darkness and the darkness refuted me. This is all part of your spiritual journey as you becoming who you are. And that's what now is being translated into a hater. Well, that's what a hater is. Remember, we are all spiritual beings. You dealing with someone who's not in touch with who they are, who's been always fake. That's when they tell you you wanna know who your friends are because all of you guys are in the darkness. The minute there's a little bit of light on you, then niggas gonna start hating. This is all spiritual, and this is part of your spiritual journey. The Job story, you know what I'm saying? Like shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? To whom much is given, well, much is fucking expected. You see what I'm saying? And that's what becoming the Christ is all about. Job became the Christ through those life experiences that he was going through. And guess what? Let's just say, like in my case, right? I'm what is called a black sheep in my family. These motherfuckers may not even be my family. I don't even know, but I'll get a lot more details when that shit comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like having a mother, let's just say I thought was my mother. It's like the whole Cinderella story. Raising me and competing against me. Meaning it's always like the bitch not even playing fair. Like she knows, you see the light in me. Like I was telling you, as a little nigga, I was always that nigga. Meaning, I always wanted to know more. I always ask questions. I didn't go with the popular perspectives. I always wanted to see them among the elders. So another way of saying that, I'm showing you from the minute, listen, I just got on earth, nigga, I was working. The minute I step foot on this motherfucker, I've been putting God's work. The minute I step foot in this motherfucker, because I always wanted to sit among the elders. I wanted to always go the distance. I wanted to understand things a little bit better. I didn't take shit for face value, baby. You got to give me more in a good way. You know what I'm saying? I was bleeding from my heart. You know, meaning I had an open heart. I was open to listen to different perspectives. Whereas you, a lot of most of you motherfuckers were just following it. I'm like, yeah, I heard it. Well, hold up, plan. Hey! Come on, relax, nigga. uh-uh. What? Nigga, what? Nah. I just couldn't do it that way because I wasn't. My makeup, I'm not made that way. You see what I'm saying? Like when even niggas are playing games, like yeah, but your game, you losing at your game. How do you play a game that you're losing at and you keep playing it? You playing it, then you're losing. You don't even see that you're losing. What a fucking loser. You're the worst loser ever. Because a good loser would have known that they're losing. Then you stop. You're the worst fucking loser. God damn. You a dumb motherfucker. I didn't think I would have to say it that way, but God damn, you a really dumb motherfucker. Anyway, shit, we gotta cut this shit short, man. I think I should have a part two of this shit because there's other shit that I didn't even touch on. You know what? Let's just do it that way because there's so much shit that has to be said. Because at the same time, I want to use real life example for you because that's what your spirituality is. To be a wise man in this life, you have to materialize the knowledge that you have. You know what I'm saying? Meaning I gotta act like I know. If I understand you and I are not on the same level, why would I argue? So, meaning translation, if I understand that, then my action would be not to argue with you. Not because of what other people would say. They have this saying that says, you don't want to argue with a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because from afar, a wise man can't tell what's the difference. Well, nigga, I say, this is what I say now. I'm changing this whole shit. This is what I say. Let's speak. That's what I say, nigga. Fuck them other niggas. Why would I even do it for me? How is it benefiting me? How is that serving me? That's why we understood quality. That's why we don't cast our pearls before swine. We're not trying to disrespect anybody. We understand this is quality, and we understand, let's just say, a pearl worth nothing in a fucking desert. Well, if I'd like to get quality money for it, I'm not gonna sell it in the fucking desert. Because in the desert, nigga, you know what I'm saying? We need something to wrap the fucking face around or some shit. That might be pills right there, though. Dropping a little bit of pill sweet. Again, when we talk about, you know what I'm saying, valuable, if you're not using you, how useful are you? Just saying. So now, going back to society, now you're sharing a collective consciousness, the masses, and that's what's taking place in front of you. It's all energetic, it's all a belief pattern, and that has created a whole matrix, a whole world, a lesser world, as the Gnostic call it. And that's the world that you're living in. You got to get a good grade, you got a nice car, you got a good job, you whatever the fuck. Then your energy now is being put into external shit. How can you take accountability for you? How do you grow? Because your growth will start with you. The transformation, that's why everybody knows that. And anybody who ever grow in life, they know at one point you got, that's why I always tell you guys too, that's your beginning stage. That's your baby step. Accountability is the baby step to yourself. Then now as you start growing spiritually, then we no longer take accountability because now we understood it was all needed. That's what the Buddhists are telling you, which makes sense. Again, it's all African shit, nigga. It's all Kemet. So again, it's like this is spirituality. I mean, it's like even though I'm not specifically talking about spirituality, but everything that we talk about us is the story of us. It tells you our true nature, and that's what spirituality does. So it's spirituality within spirituality. So now the problem becomes how do you grow? That's why you have older people, you know what I'm saying? Like you have 40-year old people. I mean, they have a 40-year-old body, but they're technically 7 years old. That's what you're dealing with. So for me, in my demonic life, pretty much at the very beginning, having a mother, like look at it from who has not grown, how would that person help me? But to literally kill me. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's everything around us. You see it all the time. Like, what was that girl name? The one that her aunt killed her. The Mexican one. I can't recall her name. But anyway, that's what you live in. Then you see people who are criminals. You know what I'm saying? People who were not loved at their very early age, who developed the sociology bullshit. Like I live with fucking criminals. Like my mom was very abusive. That's a criminal mentality because she got stuck as a 7 or 8-year-old body in an older, you know what I'm saying? Her shadow overpowered her. Her insecurity, that's what I was dealing with her insecurities. which are insecurities, if you want to use, let's just say, an occultist language for monster. And that's what all of us, not to say, well, I shouldn't say, most of us are going through. A good 99% of us. A lot of people are not conscious, then you don't talk about it. Because part of your spiritual journey, you have to overcome that. And you'll see niggas will tell you their dad was this, their dad was that, or motherfucking crackhead, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's all of us. It doesn't have to be a crackhead now, depending, let's just say, or in, you know what I'm saying, depending on how, what kind of, I guess, social group that you came from. Now, in mine, it was the identity issue. Ultimately, that's what it is, in essence. But it was like, just like I was saying, it's like how dare I trying to be me? You don't see nobody else around here trying to be them. Then we're gonna fuck you up. So as you're going through your journey, you would also have to deal with that, and that's also part of your journey. That's that's your tribes. That's your whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're gonna have to go through. The journey of the one. That's when you got to deal with the political fucking arena, the schooling system. Like I was saying again, Jesus, if you follow in the story, he was not what religion was he in? I mean, he sure did use these niggas shit, their laws, whatever the fuck. But I don't know if you know the Bible. I don't know. Help me out. Like, what part of religion was he in? See, niggas are not even paying attention to that. And even for this religious people to go against them, because that's what the underlying fuck the Jew shit, whatever the fuck. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the narrative. What is that saying to your mind? How do you process it? Well, the way you process it has to do with how you're looking at it. And anything, let's just say, that is not practical in your life, if you're looking at it from a fucking historical, meaning there's a disconnection with you in Christ already. Because that's when you have your BC, your AC. So there was a set day and time. Jesus was there. Now this is your present. So you're already disconnected with this nigga. You talk about him. Oh, for sure. And it means nothing until you interact with him. Another way of saying that, when you're looking at Jesus from an energetic perspective, a cosmic perspective, then you can relate to him. Then now you start looking at the scriptures from a different perspective. Then you understand when they talk about the Jesus is you, it's your awakening process. Now that belief is serving you in your life because you are able to grow mentally as a person. Then now when you look at Jesus as energy, when you tap into that energy, you become that energy. That's what it means when the nigga's saying you eat my motherfucking flesh, open your mouth, you know what I'm saying? This is my blood. You eat what you know what I'm saying, part of me, now you become me. That's what the fuck. It's you can only process this shit from a fucking energetic perspective. Any other way, that's why it doesn't work for you. That's why you talk about Jesus, but you're still a fucked up person. And I'm not trying to equate Jesus to behavior here. All I'm trying to say is that there's a mismatch, there's a disconnection. You know what I'm saying? But all of that has to do with how you're looking at it. So when we're dealing with esoteric knowledge, for instance, esoteric knowledge help you to look at the knowledge not in a physical perspective, not a literal perspective. That's why when you talk about the Gnostics had a different perspective of Jesus because you know what I'm saying that whole shit comes out of the Gnostics. So they were talking about a fucking esoteric Jesus, meaning the men did not matter. Just like if you want to talk about Buddha, Buddha don't matter, not the men, but the understanding what he represented. The Buddha, just like Jesus, is just a fucking embodiment of what being a highly conscious person is. That's why you have your statues around you to have that manifestation around you. But most importantly, you have to become that yourself. And that's what you're showing in your body with the fucking hollow. You're becoming a god on earth. Your divinity now, your vibration, niggas know what's up. Isn't that what a star is? I'm just trying to get you to shine bright, baby. If you're gonna shine, what are you shining for? It's either you shine or you don't. I don't know. How, why are you shining for? But anyway, there's so much to be said. But ultimately, I'm gonna end it with this because it's getting late. Damn, almost fucking 2 o'clock and shit. But anyway, true spiritual transformation start with the self. That's why it's important for you to release yourself from, society's approval, but most importantly, that one-sided perspective of you. Meaning now you're not looking into yourself, which is into your divinity, the, the divine, your beauty, your true self, your elevation, your treasure. You can only transform by going inside. Only when you go inside can you change your fucking outside. Truly change your fucking outside. So when you truly understand all of that, again, it all comes down to your true essence. You being the creator. But you got to seek the kingdom of God, meaning your true understanding, how you work first. Don't worry about the outside. You know what I'm saying? You never check the outside from the outside. You can try. Many have tried. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. I mean, you may get results, but no. So to truly understand your culture too, or what's in front of you, is to understand what's taking place in front of you too, meaning the schooling system that's in front of you, the political, all of that. This is what we call by becoming conscious. Now, us becoming conscious, we're not becoming conscious like for me to go against no fucking government. I don't give a fuck, nigga. But I have to understand who you are, though, how you do business. You know what I'm saying? That's what helps me to stay on my motherfucking path, nigga. because I know how you do business. We're not falling for the okie doke, nigga. That's not. That's a, hey, I suck my own dick, nigga. That's what I'm pretty much saying. But again, oh, there's a lot that's being said here. But again, to truly understand, it all comes down to you, baby. And there's been so many misconception. Even when we talk about self-love, people are telling you got to be humble, but you can only be humble through self-love. When you don't have self-love, you're not being humble. Let me say it this way: you can never be humble without self-love. Because when you have self-love, what that is you loving the divine qualities in you. Then you could see that on other people. And to be humble, you don't put your fucking accomplishment over nobody else. Because I understand you don't understand, nigga. Compassion. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I hold, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how am I going to hold grudges against you when I know you don't understand? But I got to create my boundaries. Because just because you don't understand, okay, I'm going to deal with you as you are, nigga. But it's never personal. But it's extremely personal, if that makes any sense. It's not because it's not personal towards you. It's all part of me loving myself. I just listen, man. This is what it is, nigga. I'm in love. You know what I'm saying? And if you know anything about being in love, no one's gonna teach. No one's gonna walk me out of it until I'm ready. But so far, what I've been seeing in this guy, oh, his divine qualities. Us sharing this thing together. I ain't going nowhere, dog. Found my treasure, nigga. You doing magic? What? Oh, you too late, nigga. You missed the train, nigga. You a loser. Why the fuck do I want to associate myself with a loser, man? And that would make me a loser too, man. I do not lose, nigga. But anyway, it all comes down to understanding the collective. Oh man, and I didn't even get to talk about the collective consciousness because since you've been trained not to be you, then that's why you see the masses never take accountability. They give everything to their master. If anything goes wrong, it's not because of them, but it's because, their daddy, the president, whoever the fuck it is. So therefore, you are worshiping idols. Then now you're fighting for a system. You're fighting for whatever the fuck. That is not you. You wilding out here. What a fucking life. What a motherfucking life. Anyway, we're gonna leave it here. Maybe I will make a part two of this. Haitien. Nah, Ali.